Can anybody hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you. I apologize for appearing from afar, but I'm in the middle of a budget process in Juneau County today.
Nancy's now. Okay. We have 3 o'clock. I'll call the meeting to order. Was the meeting properly noticed?
Yes, it was.
Clerk, please take roll.
All members are present.
Okay. Supervisor Postowski.
Mr. Chair, I just had a quick question about the notice of this meeting. When we viewed the county calendar, if we could please take a look at this, I just like to point this out. When we click on today's meeting, it pulls it up, the agenda. However, the agenda, when I pull it up on this calendar, does not reflect the date, time, and place of today's meeting for the citizens. I'm just
October
wondering.
7th, 2025, 3 p.m. Adams County Courthouse Boardroom.
Yeah, I see it how it's supposed to be here, but however, when I'm in my tablet here, as a citizen might be, when I click on it on the calendar, it's different. It doesn't show.
I think
I'm not trying to pick on
it's your
anybody.
iPad. It shows up like that.
Yeah, not.
Yeah. It's the print layout. Your print layout has to be set differently.
Is that what it's not? So the citizens, I just want to be sure that they're seeing the time, date, and place. I'm not trying to pick on anybody.
They should be seeing it.
Okay, yeah, so thank you. I just wanted to point that out.
Okay. We have the agenda before us. Do I have a motion to approve? Okay, okay. Ms. Morgan, second by Supervisor Gabarski. Any discussion or questions? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed signify by saying nay. Agenda is approved. We have the minutes from September 2nd. Do I have a motion to approve? Supervisor Churko, second by Supervisor Gabarski. Discussion or questions on the minutes? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed signify by saying nay. Minutes are approved. We'll allow public participation as we go through. Next meeting date. The board meeting's early that month, so if we don't have it on the 4th, and I don't know if we expect to have much on the agenda for action items.
Shoot for the 4th and we'll cancel if we have to.
Shoot the 4th. I don't know. I might be busy.
Would the 4th work?
Yeah, the 4th will work. We are gonna have an agenda item I just thought of. It's gonna be a review of our 10-year plan.
Okay.
4th for you guys too?
Well, is that something that'll have to go to the board in November? No.
It's a good question. I will find that out.
Or is it
I believe it goes to the board.
in November or December?
Yeah, so I present on December 2nd. So usually it goes to our board first for review and edits, and then I bring our final copy to the December 2nd meeting.
Okay. I was just wondering if it could be, it doesn't have to be before the board meeting on the 11th. So we don't have to have it on the 4th. We could have it on the 11th if we wanted to, right?
No, he said it needs to be on that November.
No, it won't be. You'll take it to the county board in December, right?
No,
Correct.
he said his board.
Yeah, sorry, the State Land and Water Board, I go there on December 2nd to present
Okay.
it, so it has to come.
We just have to have our meeting before December 2nd.
The county board.
Oh,
Needs
the
to go to
county
our
board
county
meeting.
board before the state board, yeah.
Okay. Not just the committee, the county board.
Correct, yeah.
Okay. So November 4th at 3 o'clock. Okay. Well, first item on the agenda is UW budget, UW extension budget 2026.
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Yep. So the county administrator, human resources manager, and I all met with the department heads for that report to this committee. We did make some minor changes to the UW extension budget from what they had initially requested. We added in fund balance applied to spend down some of their committed fund balance, and we adjusted their wages and benefits due to a newly vacated position that happened during the budget process. I don't know if there was any questions from any of the committee members on the budget.
And that's the only change.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. No questions? Okay. Next item then, and we don't have action, we don't need action on that. Okay, next area is area extension director report.
Hello, thank you for having the opportunity to speak with you via Zoom. Like I said, I'm detained in Juneau County right now. But as far as area extension director report, our staff put together an awesome written report here that you'll see. Our financial report has us staying on task and within the guide of what we budgeted for in 2025 or 25, sorry. But our 4-H educator is getting started with the process of a new 4-H year. He manages the volunteers, does a lot of administrative work there, and is planning and organizing for the 2026 4-H year. Our health and well-being educator, as you saw in her report, is working on some hot button issues, childcare, prevention for prescription drug misuse, opioid settlement dollars, working with the Administration and Finance Committee on how they might be able to disseminate some of those dollars to address the needs of Adams County residents. Looking at housing options, especially for those who have been involved in substance abuse situations, so that when they are able to get out in the world, they can find housing that they can afford. And then she has a conference that she annually supports, the Youth Summit, which involves Adams County youth as well as Juneau and Sauk County youth, and then a list of other ongoing efforts that she's involved in. Our Health and Wellbeing Department also includes our FoodWise staff, Angela DeSmith and Sharon Volkening-Wolf. Both staff members will be facing layoff, one at the end of October and one at the end of November. So those programming efforts that they continue to do will continue through those 2 time periods, but then that funding source dries up and we won't have them available to us anymore. Our community health worker, Yesenia Meza, has been continuing to work with different populations in the county on food insecurity. She's partnered with educators or staff within our department as well to help with that. She's also been working with Noble Clinics and other organizations to bring information to families and individuals who may not have access to it as easily and readily as some of the others. And then our regional livestock educator, Adam Hartfield, continues to do programming across the 3 counties that he serves. He held a beef workshop in August here in Adams County, had a number of families from 4-H in particular, as well as producers who regularly support and have beef in their farm situations, take part in that event. So that's kind of an overview. Also remember that when we have shared programming where an educator works, like if Sheila works with Evan or they work back and forth together, we'll put that under shared programming reporting. And then in the last page, programming from other UW extension sources. Please note that we are the benefactors in Adams County of programming that happens at the cost of not the Adams County budget, but at other levels of extension. You may remember a staff member in Adams County named Anna James. She works as a water specialist now out of the Wood County office, but she's been doing programming, as you can see in that last page of the report, around natural resources with youth in the Nakusa High School, as well as with farmers of the Rosha Creek. So that is just a bonus for Adams County residents. Any questions?
Don't see any, Director. Thank you very much for your report.
You're welcome.
Okay, next we'll go on to land and water budget. So, Finance Director?
Mr. Chair. So the only changes that we made with the land and water budget were we removed grant revenue that's not going to be received in 2026. We slightly increased our fee revenue and then adjusted health insurance benefits from a 9% increase to a 9.5% increase.
Is yours, Pozdowski?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just a quick question for Kyle. Kyle, can you please tell us, or it's not clear, we look at lines on page 76 of this budget, it'd be, I'm thinking 110, lines 110 to 461. Is that, are we looking on the same? So we have all these expenses here. I guess the question is that this isn't really clear in this presentation, and maybe I've we missed something, but who the beneficiary is, or who these funds go to, if you will, who's the entity or the beneficiary of these allocations? If you could just please clarify that for us, Kyle.
What page, what,
I'm looking at page 76 and I'm looking at lines,
page 76, the pages are in the upper right-hand corner.
yeah, and then
Page
it'd be
one,
line,
page two,
it'd be line
page-
items 110.
page four, there's only 4 pages, not 76 pages.
Okay, page 4.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if they knew where they were.
Okay,
so,
I apologize. Yeah,
Yeah.
I got my notes here a little bit. So I'm looking at lines 110 to 461. Is that making sense to you there, Kyle? So we have all these different,
Under what expense category, Supervisor Pastowski?
so if we
There's
look at,
wildlife damage, there's a debt cap grant, the aquatic invasive. On page 4 there.
it's 110 to 61. It'd be under 56, 150. I think that's,
Page, oh,
okay, yeah, so we
Page-
have all these, here we are. Thank you. So we just have these expenses here, I guess. It ends at 461, and then if we go to the beginning at 110.
the whole land and water conservation budget.
Yeah, it's just not clear because it almost seems as if we have an employee expense in some of these cases, but we just don't know the entity or the beneficiary of each of or these expenses. It's just not clear, if you will. I mean, who these funds are going to?
Well, these are all the
I mean-
wages of the land and water department.
Right, it's kind of broad. We just like to know the individual or the entities or the
Well, it's Colton and all the employees in the department.
okay, that's.
I mean, how many people, how many employees do you have in your department, Colton?
There's 3 counting myself.
3.
Okay, so we're dividing these funds among the 3,
Well, the
Okay.
wages and salaries, social security would be, yes.
those 3 individuals. Okay, so is it broken down percentage wise equally among the 3, or is there differences in who it's
Mr.
what?
Chair.
I mean, it's just not clear where are these.
You'd have to look at the total wage study because everybody's wage in there is different and their tenure might be different.
Right,
So,
but
It's
I
not
mean,
like-
don't we have more information on who the payees are, if you will, or
well, that's,
who's this going to? I mean, or at least, I mean, maybe we recommend putting the 3 on in, so we know, okay, these are the 3 that are getting paid. Because
but they might not be the same individuals. One of those individuals might leave, so there's just
right, but
monies for that category.
right. These are the allowed for these are allowed expenses allocated for these 3 individuals. So
I mean, there's a
with
lot of
that
detail
changes,
there.
then we
There's a lot of detail there, but that's all behind the scenes,
Right,
We don't need to see that kind of detail. I don't think at our level.
Right, but just need to know the names. I'm not trying to. I'm not the exact amounts, but
In the write-up, I don't know if the reports are in there, but in a small department like Colton's, there might be. But then when you get to a big department like the sheriff's department, you want to see every one of the names of the employees that we have. We got 325 employees.
well, where are
So
these?
right in the county, part-time,
Right, but it's like a payroll thing. Okay, well, we're paying these employees this amount of money, so it's. I would think it'd be helpful for the records or, this accuracy, more clarity. I'd like to see. I would recommend that we somehow. I don't know if Kyle has any suggestions on. Are you following where? Is there
Mr. Chair,
anything we could
Yes.
do to make this more clear? Where these funds are going or being allocated to. We understand it's going to the land and water, but
Yep,
to
so.
whom, there's got to be some kind of physical entity somewhere or entities would think in a proposal like this.
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
So wages and benefits are all budgeted centrally within the Human Resources Department. The Human Resources Department has the wage schedule, and they apply the wage schedule and the step increases to every employee throughout the county. Releasing that information could potentially be a HIPAA violation because there is benefits allowed in there as well. So then it would show the elections of the benefits for the individual employees if we had that information released. So we do maintain copies of the detailed information, but we've never disclosed that information to the committees. We know who the staff are. We know where they are on the wage schedule. Any vacant positions, we budget those with family health insurance. So
Yeah, I mean, I suppose after all, I mean, these are county employees and these are county expenses. And I think the citizens would just like to know the entities of whom uh, these expenses or allocations are going to. I think there should be a little more clarity here. Without violating anybody's privacy. I mean, by just putting their names as entities that are getting these funds, I think would be sufficient. We don't need to see how much anybody makes or anything, but I mean, here, obviously we have all the expenses, they're broken down and itemized. I think it'd be reasonable and fitting to include the names.
I don't know if you need the name, you just need the title of the position.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
So
Yeah,
there'd be
thank
the
you, Mr.
director,
Chair.
there's a
Yeah.
director position, and what are the other two positions then, Kyle?
Water resource specialist and resource conservationist.
Yeah, that would be sufficient, I think. I mean, that would be helpful. So I'd recommend in the future that we attach, those titles and headings.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
that information is publicly available on the county website under the Human Resources Department page.
And probably under the department page too.
Well, just the Human Resources Department page
Okay.
that has the salary structure.
Okay.
That might be a very complicated way to navigate, especially for citizens or,
Mis-
I make it a little easier for me possibly.
Any other questions?
One more and then,
Supervisor Postowski?
so, I'm looking at the deer, management. It's the beginning. I think there's $100,000 allocation for wildlife damage. We're looking at
We'll hear about that here.
623.
If you want to just wait, that's the next item on the agenda.
Well, I want to try to do something here. So, we have the allocation of $100,000 for the wildlife damage. Now, there's been some concerns among citizens that somehow the deer are the only ones that know of these deer sanctuaries, if you will. They're attracted to these areas. They have ways of, bringing more deer in, their scent markings and whatnot. I guess it's just, I don't know if it's practical and for an everyday hunter to find these locations. It's just not easy. And I guess I've recommended in the past that we put up, roadside marking signs to mark these locations for the public as an option. Among other ways, I don't know if this has been done. I haven't seen any signs. We could perhaps put up a sign that says deer reduction area or something, to let everybody know, hey, or public deer reduction area. That way, the public is aware that this area is open to the public for hunting. So I just don't know as that awareness is being brought forth, and this is working as well as it could be. I'm wondering if we could take a look at doing some signage, or if we have, maybe I'm not aware if we have done anything like that, but anybody tell
That
me?
information's available on the USDA website, correct?
Yeah, I just,
For the crop damage, for the
I'm just
crop
not-
damage.
I'm not seeing it in today's agenda anywhere or anywhere we can find that. So I'm just asking
So,
if there's been any signage or any.
So there's one farm in Adams County that's open to the public.
could you please use your mic, please?
Great.
Thank you, thank you.
There you go.
We can hear you here, but the people that are viewing us might not be able to hear you, so.
Yeah, sorry about that. So there's one farm open to the public. So the majority of the budget for the damage program goes towards administrative time for all the shooting permits that go out to farmers that do not have their property open to the public. So that single farm does not have any signage at this time, but it's on the DNR website. So
Where is that farm?
it's on County O and W up in the north part of the county. So
How
he,
many acres are available there?
I just appraised it the other day. So there's 4 fields that he's got in, probably around 150 acres total.
Okay. And would you happen to know how many tags might be available and how the public or citizens might be able to go about obtaining those? If you could please give us a little quick
Yep.
overview on that.
So he, I believe, got 8 tags, which that's his choice if he wants to give them to the public. He does not have to if he doesn't want to. The way that portion of the program works is if a person in the public has their own tag, then they're allowed to go hunt on his property during regular deer season. So some farmers do share their tags with people that call, but they're not required to. It's just the land access that's required for the public.
So just to clarify, so this is not full public access, it's just limited access. It seems, is that right?
So just during the regular deer season, so it's called the managed hunting option. So any hunter that wants to hunt on the property has to give him a call ahead of time.
Okay,
First come, first serve. If nobody's out there, then he is required to allow that person to go out and hunt the property during the regular deer season. But they have to use their own tags unless he gives them a tag if they ask.
okay. And this as far as contacting him, his phone number, obviously, you know, it
Mhm.
might be hard to find his working citizens find his phone number to get a hold of him in advance. You know, they give him the courtesy call or the call if necessary to get permission, if you will, to
Yeah,
on his land.
all on the DNR website under the
Okay.
damage program.
Okay.
So that's where all the properties are listed. I believe it also shows people that have the other shooting permit where the property's not open to the public. But occasionally those farmers do want a little bit of help. Like people can call them up and say, hey, like I'm willing to shoot some deer for you. And they can give them those tags if they want to, but they're not required to.
Okay.
So.
And this one more thing I'd like to point out, when we have just one spot like this, it might make it seem as though to the citizens that this is the only area that we have a dense population of deer, which, I mean, if we drive around Adams County, we all know that this is not the case. We have excessive deer populations in areas all over the county. So I'd like to see more of an effort put on some of these locations, I suppose, to encourage hunters to hunt these spots. Maybe we could put some signage out and say, you know, this is a concentration of deer that we need to reduce area of some kind, I suppose, just to bring more awareness to these locations, and it might help better to reduce the deer populations for a lot of these area farmers, because we know. And then not only that, you know, we have the motorists out there in the roads at night, even during the day, you know, hit deer, and it does cause a public safety issue with the high populations of deer. So we want to properly, responsibly manage the deer herd up here. And I know you're striving to do that. That's why you're probably in a position. So we thank you for what you do. I'd like to recommend, you know, if we could look at in the future, some signage would be good. I mean, we're in an old school area of Adams County. A lot of people don't honestly go on websites. A lot of hunters, you know, older school hunters especially, myself included. I do go on the website when I can, but when we go out in the field and hunt, you know, or whatever, you know, it's hard to. I'm just trying to be practical for your average everyday hunter and think like they do. And To get the deer, sometimes we got to think like the deer, be the deer, if you will, but outsmart them and to just identify these locations.
Yeah. So the main reason why there's, one cooperator in Adams County is a lot of farmers just don't feel comfortable allowing the public on their property. So they go for the option where they just get tags, but they're not compensated for their losses at all. And in return, they don't have to allow the public access, but some of them do choose to. So,
It's up to them. Sure,
yeah.
yeah.
But talking with the new DNR wildlife damage specialist, he's got some plans to do some updates of the mapping and stuff for the whole damage program to make it hopefully easier for people to see all the farm locations, statewide that are enrolled in the damage program. So, just talking to him anecdotally, it sounds like there might be some updates coming down the road, but
Okay.
Yep.
So I suppose if we have this $100,000 budget, maybe it'd be helpful to set a portion of this aside for some signs. Could we, what do you think we could, maybe $10,000, we could do some signs, and we've talked to Kyle. I don't know if we could make
No.
something like that happen.
that would be something to chat with DNR about. 'Cause
Okay.
I
maybe
think
we
they
could-
used to do that. I don't know that they do. They stopped doing it for some reason, but
Yeah,
yeah, that would be something to bring up with DNR for sure.
okay.
So,
Yeah, I know, like you said, they used to do it, so it's bringing back that old style, what people used to be used to and bring it back up to speed. So I would like to see that. And then just in the budget here, I saw that there was no allocation for tree planting. And I'm not sure if we could just scroll in that budget real quick. I'm wondering if we could, I don't know, Kyle, could we take funds from the deer damage and maybe look at allocating some kind of for tree planting? I don't know, I see the $80. I mean, I don't think it'd be out of line to get some funding to plant some trees along the roadsides, with the permission of the property owners, of course. But we have these open fields. I think it'd be responsible for the future to plant some trees and help break the wind, help reduce wind erosion, snow drifting, and just overall be a better environment and more beautiful sometimes to look out at trees when there's big open fields. So is there any way that we could do that, Kyle?
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
what Supervisor Pozdolski is referring to is a revenue source. That revenue source comes from periodic rental of a tree planting machine, which I believe the DNR has possession of. They rent it out to people very infrequently. So we don't budget any revenue source for tree planting.
I mean, what if they do have it available, then we don't have any funds for the trees?
We don't have it. We own the planter and the DNR rents it out.
But it looks like the budget to allocate the trees.
So
would
that's
be-
money. Those are
Right.
monies coming
So
in.
if they don't have any money to get trees, how do we plant the trees? I'd just like to
Well,
see
it's
some
not
kind of
planting
balance
trees
here.
for us. It's people can do it to plant their own trees.
Well, sure. I mean, but this is something that we could offer along the roadsides. I'm not talking about planting them in the property of the fields. I'm more alongside the roadsides,
Those are plans that they can work with the USDA and they got cost sharing if they need it.
Yeah, I guess I'd like to see some kind of discussion going that direction and future allocations for funds to plant trees. We need more trees in Adams County, everyone. So
Go ahead, Cole.
thank you.
Yeah, so for that tree planting, like Kyle said, that's revenue coming in from our rented out tree planter. A lot of this revenue comes from when we do our annual tree and shrub sale. And when citizens come and buy thousands of pines, it's easy to plant. So that's where that revenue comes from, but it doesn't happen on a yearly basis. As for your planting trees along the roadways for erosion control practices, we do have those funds like we talked about the last time through DATCAP. That would be our SEG and our structural funds. And then we work with the Central Wisconsin Windshed Partnership and some of the farmers that have these fields with some wind erosion problems and help them get that cost share for those windbreaks and those living snow fences along the roadways.
Do you happen to know what's allocated for that, Colton, or you mentioned?
We have $88,000 next year coming from DATCAP for our cost share program.
Okay, and that's gonna be spent on,
It's not all gonna be directed just towards living snow fences or windbreaks.
okay,
We have some other hard practices that we have lined up.
yeah, I mean, the trees, obviously, when we plant a tree and it grows, it takes away the need for snow fences. It's a renewable snow fence or windbreak, if you will.
Yeah, it's a living snow fence.
Yeah, I mean, you won't have to keep taking,
Mhm.
so more practical, I think, and more fitting for Adams County. So thank you for that. And, I think that'll do it for now. And
We
just-
need to move on because we have to
Yeah.
be done in 10 minutes. So
Okay.
because there's another meeting following us. So,
All right, I'll
so,
rest.
so I'll turn it over for the USDA budget crop prices deer donation agreement. So
All right. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Maddie Paff. I'm the wildlife damage specialist for Adams County. However, I recently accepted a new position in Michigan. So this is Quinn Hanish. He will be replacing me. And he's already doing this job over out of the Black River Falls office. So he's hitting the ground running, but he'll be taking over for me in November. So um, for our budget, once again, this is pass-through money from a surcharge on hunter licensed dollars from the DNR. Um, and this covers administrative costs for the DNR's damage program in Adams County. A lot of that is deer shooting permits, the crop damage tags, bear abatement, um, fencing for deer projects. So, yeah, if anybody has any questions.
The real quick one, Mr. Chair.
Supervisor Kozlowski.
This might be redundant, but, have measures been taken to encourage the public or folks, citizens to hunt deer themselves rather than rely on donations and, of which venison, it would be more, productive, I believe, for all if we have people going out there hunting the deer themselves rather than, there seems to be an expense here, even with the donations. I see the $22,000 expense there right on the top there, and it's that right away we look at that as a county expense. But if we get people out there hunting the deer themselves, then it seems that that expense might go away, and then we're getting money for tags, which would be revenue coming in. So I'm wondering if there's been any more encouragement, rather than giving the donating, which I'm all about. Somebody needs venison and they're gonna eat it, by all means, that's awesome. But
Yeah.
let's get them out there hunting themselves too, because I know that the talk, there doesn't seem to be enough hunters out there.
So that is actually a $0 line item, because Adams County doesn't have any participating processors for the venison donation program. So yeah, unfortunately we don't, but
All right, well, thank you for that. I'm trying to be quick about this, so.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, and a bunch of those issues are mostly state DNR issues, not a county issue that the county is going to really.
Right, but here it becomes a county issue within this, so thank you.
And to go through these agreements, we need to make a motion and accept that, correct?
correct.
Okay, so I'd look for a motion to accept okay. A motion by Supervisor Turco, second by Member Morgan, so. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Those against signify by saying nay.
Nay, Supervisor Pozdolski.
That motion passes. So we'll move on then to the resolution for the surface water grant for Easton Lake.
We actually have
Oh.
crop prices too, sorry.
Oh, I was taking them all at once. We got to do them all separately.
Oh, is it on the same item?
It's all in the same line item, yeah.
Okay.
You can review them if you want. I went through them.
All right. Yeah. So
Good.
these are set by the county. This is the crop price that the farmer will get reimbursed at. So I've got alfalfa, alfalfa grass mix, corn, oats, soybeans, and wheat. These are all averages from UW Extension. The one that matters most for Adams County is corn, which this is a just suggestion, 4.18 a bushel. So, it's up to the county if you guys want to raise or lower that, for how much he'll get reimbursed for his deer loss.
What does the farmer think?
418 is not gonna cover the cost of production anyway, so you're gonna have to raise it quite a bit. Best thing, leave it as it is,
Okay.
418.
Well, that was my thing. I thought we were approving them all as one, but the whole USDA budget, the crop prices and the deer donation agreement. So,
Sounds good.
but
Yep.
and there's no objection in the price. So
Okay. Sounds
Okay.
good. Thank you.
was that it that you had then?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Since we don't have any processors participating currently, don't have to worry about that one.
Okay, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I wish you had a bear in that trap.
I know. Me too.
Okay, so the surface water grant then, Easton Lake. Colton, please.
Yep, so this is a surface water grant. It'll be through the Healthy Lakes and Rivers portion of it. This is to install a 350 square foot native buffer along the shoreline to limit external nutrient loading into Easton Lake. And it's in the amount of, each practice is in the amount of $1,000 that they allocate for each project.
Okay. So it'd be the same for the Friendship Lake one?
No, that's a different,
Oh, different one?
sub-grant, yep.
Okay. We have a motion to approve that resolution, send on to the county. Okay. Motion by Supervisor Churko, second by Member Paler. So. Supervisor Postonski?
I'll make this quick if I could, Mr. Chair. I guess my question would be, how can citizens be assured they're getting what they're paying for? Has there been adequate research, prior research to this specific area in Easton to back up this action? Please explain. I mean, we'd like to just know that there's been some advanced research done. What kind, please?
Yeah, there's been past research on some of the external nutrient loading that flows into Easton from the east side. And then we've had a lot of complaints through the last couple of years with excess algae and duckweed and elodea growth. So like those floating vegetation that you see. And a lot of that comes from the external and the internal nutrient loading. So this practice will help. You gotta start somewhere with management practices. So this practice will help that to minimize that external nutrient loading.
Have other options been considered, Colton? Can you please let us know?
There's a lot of different options that you can do. You can look at a watershed approach for external nutrient loadings into Easton Lake. This is just one of the many best management practices that you can do that the DNR offers to landowners.
I guess I'd just like to see if we could present in the future a few different options might be reasonable, and then lay it out in a way that we can see this is in fact the best option. So I'd like to see a little more clarity here in the future. Thank you.
Okay. Got a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Those against signify by saying nay.
Nay, Supervisor Pozdolski.
That resolution will move on to county board. Then we have the next one, the surface water grant for Friendship Lake. Colton, please.
Yep. So applying for this grant, we're doing this because we have limited data regarding the massive nutrients entering Friendship Lake from the individual tributaries. We have limited data regarding the amounts of nutrients removed during the aquatic plant harvesting and the massive nutrients leaving the lake through the outflow. So this project will seek to fill in these gaps and provide a more clear picture of how our nitrogen and phosphorus interact with Friendship Lake. So we will do this by collecting stream discharge, phosphorus and nitrogen surface water samples. We will do this by collecting plant tissue nutrient samples from the harvested plant tissues. And then we will also be working with the CLMN, the Citizen Lake Monitoring Network volunteers, for nitrogen surface water samples.
Okay. Do I have a motion to approve this and send it on? Motion by Supervisor Morgan, second by Supervisor Sammelstead. So, any questions?
I suppose just real quick, Mr. Chair, have other options been considered? And
They're just doing research to see if something needs to be done.
yeah, but have the other options been considered?
This is what we need to do to consider our best management practices.
It just doesn't give any options. So, thank you.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed signify by saying nay.
Nay, Supervisor Pozdolski.
That motion passes and that resolution will be sent on to county board. So are there any questions on the project status or land and water staff reports? Okay, any on the Lake Alliance report? Member Paler?
Just a few things. Jordan Lake and McGinnis Lake both will have tax increases this year due to costs that they had this year, and they expect more next year, so they will have some increase in their memberships. Tri Lakes had hauled away about 2 million pounds of aquatic plants this year. And Fawn Lake, everything went well. They did a lot of weed harvesting. They intend to do more next year.
Okay, the agriculture report?
There's nothing, everybody's harvesting right now.
Okay. And the dad cap report is there, so. If there's nothing else, I'll adjourn the meeting and everybody have a good weekend. Well, I guess week, yeah, it's only Tuesday, so.
To Mr.
Okay.
Chair, thank you.
Okay, thank you all.